All right. Y'all, everyone muted themselves. Thanks. Okay. All right. So first thing, which is kind of the obvious thing, people probably know you, but there might be some people that don't know you that well. So can you introduce yourself and share a little bit of your story? But pretty much the people that are on have earned, or are getting the recording, have earned this by getting their 4 first customers, getting their shopping spree, or enrolled somebody that did. So you're also the enroller. So go ahead. I'll give you the floor.
All right. So my name is Megan. I refer to myself as Megan Hazen when you talk to me, but my name should be Megan Benson. It's just not. Well, we don't even need to talk about that. I am married though. So for now. Just kidding, John.
I love you.
Love you. Love you, John. He's right there in the doorway. Okay, so I joined the business in 2013. I went to a party as a total skeptic, was like, hey, here I am 15 minutes late. I'm going to donate this $25 that I have because this does not work. And I was actually kind of rude. Like, I was that party guest that you just don't want there. And long story short, I wrapped. I had some pretty good results. I was like, dang, like maybe, whoa. I was kind of impressed. And then I ended the party and I ended up being talked into, as I felt at the time, to buying the biggest package you could buy as a customer. I was like $300 deep because there was a package that you can't even buy now. So I was like $300 deep into all these products. I was like, oh, what just happened? I got them, started taking them, and the greens ended up getting rid of my migraines. And I had migraines like 5 or 6 times a month. I had a headache every day, and 3 days on the greens, I stopped getting headaches every day. And I was like a whole different person. So I talked to my sponsor, and I went to the party on January 20th, and I ended up joining February 4th as a distributor in 2013. I was embarrassed instantly about my decision, so I did not post on social media, and I was like, like, nope, I just didn't do that. But meanwhile, behind the scenes, I was kind of like looking at the comp plan, and I was like, like, I think you can make some money in this company. So I kind of said, you know what, screw it. I forgot about everybody that was hating on me, and I just kind of went for it. And my first month, I went Ruby. My second month, I got the 60 customers bonus, which is our car bonus, which is $600 a month. I got that in my second month. My third month, I went diamond. My fourth month, I went double. And then 8 months later, I went triple and presidential back to back. So so my first year was definitely a whirlwind. It was definitely the hardest I've ever worked in my life towards anything, but it did not even feel like work. Like, it's crazy. Like, it was so much fun. My social circle turned completely to It Works. My friends eventually jumped on board anyway, but they didn't for the first few months. They were like sitting around campfires being like, where'd Megan go? She's doing that stupid rap thing that doesn't work. And they were totally hating on me, but whatever. They ended up joining 4 months later. So joke's on them. So my social circle totally converted to It Works, and I totally ignored my new husband, John, because we were just married at the time. He like never got dinner. You know what? A lot changed for me in that first 13 months. But at the end of it, it totally set us up for like the rest of our lives, as far as I'm concerned. So my business, after going presidential in 13 months, my business has, we have peaks and valleys when it comes to network marketing. But ever since I went presidential, I've, between mine and my husband's check, like, we've never made it any less than $9,000 a month. And that's on a really low, slow time. And we've made over 30 grand before as well. So it's just been amazing what these last almost 5 years has been like. And I don't think there's really any more to my story than just I'm a I'm usually just a hustler, and I usually have big goals, and anybody who doesn't take this business to its fullest is crazy.
And no excuses. I'm just going to throw out there.
Right. Like, and I definitely think that throughout your journey with this business, there's times where you really have to be no excuses, and you have to be willing to make sacrifices. And did y'all see my post in Diamond Dreams yesterday or the day before about the snowball? Like, I feel like when you first start, sometimes you feel like you're working harder than what you're getting paid for. Like, sometimes you think, man, I worked so hard this month. I signed like 10 customers and my check went up $50. Like, really? But I feel like the perfect way to explain it is a lot of people can't see like the multi-dimensions of network marketing right at the beginning. They just want to spend like 10 hours a week working and then expect $500 or $600 in a month and then be like, wait, why didn't I get that? And they're not willing to necessarily look and see how to get paid what kind of money in the company that you're currently in. And I spent a lot of time in my journey figuring out how to make money because I'm a numbers person. Like, my day job, I'm a financial analyst, so numbers really make sense to me, just money, numbers, it all makes sense to me. So it was really important for me throughout my journey to really understand how to make money and how to make money in this company. So I know the comp in and out, like you can ask me any question about the comp plan and I will give you probably your specific, answer according to your personal business at that time. And I definitely feel like that's helped me in my journey because it's motivated me. It's kept me motivated all the time to make as much money as I can. Danielle, you're muted.
Gotcha. I was like, what? What are you talking about? I was going to say something, but then of course I tried to help him because the iPad died and I forgot. So, all right. So basically the first question is what was your number one thing that you focused on or you pushed for when you were new and just starting out to grow your business?
I focused on customers when I first joined. My mindset with that was I don't absolutely know about this business or the product.
Hang on. If I was Lane or not? I'm like, well.
Oh, sure. Can you hold on to that, honey? Don't touch it. Hi. This is Landon.
She's like,
And the manager.
okay, there you go. Sorry.
That's fine. So my thought process when I first started was I didn't really know anything. Nobody knows anything about the comp plan, obviously, when they first started. But I saw that $600 monthly bonus. I was like, I'm totally getting that. Like, $600 is bigger than my total goal I even wanted to make in this business, which was $500 a month. So imagine if I made a $600 monthly goal with customers. So my mindset was I was going to go crazy on customers because that was also going to force me to learn as much as I could about the products. I definitely think a roadblock that a lot of new distributors have is, I don't want to say they're not willing to learn as a bad thing, but sometimes I feel like, okay, like I've been on this kick lately about like self-motivation and just wanting to go out and learn stuff about what we sell and what we do. I mean, I don't understand any other way. So when I first started, I was like, well, I have to learn. I can't realistically learn everything about every product, but I'm going to go find like 5 products. I am going to learn as much as I can about them, and then I'm going to go sell the crap out of them. And that's pretty much what I did. Like, I sold a ton of the greens because my testimony was really good. I sold a ton of wraps because I also found it was really amazing to watch people's reaction after you took the wrap off them and showed them their before and after. And that like motivated me. I loved parties. And I don't want to say loved as in I don't do them anymore, but now my life is different. Now I've got 2 babies. I've got a husband who works 12-hour shifts. Like, parties just aren't something I can do 10 a week of anymore. But when I first joined and I didn't have anything that was kind of tugging me, I had a full-time job, but that was it. I gave up working out. I gave up TV. I gave up all that extra stuff. And I gained like 15 pounds. I was like the It Works girl gaining weight, but I was like eating fast food on the way home from my 4 parties every night. But I made like $2,000 a month in Wrap Cash. Like I literally was like, how can you not make Wrap Cash? Like that's one of the ways we get paid. Like I'm going to go get paid it. So I made a crap ton of money in Wrap Cash, but I also found it kept me so motivated because you get like instant satisfaction. 9 out of 10 people see results immediately with our wraps. And we when I first started, we measured, and we quickly got rid of measuring and we went right to pictures and showing people right there a before and after of their belly after they got wrapped and seeing their reaction is literally priceless to me. And it just kept me motivated and excited. So I sold a crap ton of wraps. I sold a crap ton of even our skincare. Like I don't even hardly sell the skincare anymore. Like it's something I need to get back into, like marketing, because our skincare is so amazing. And I sold a crap ton of it when I first started. So anyway, I just picked 5 products. I learned the most I could about them. And when my sales started to slow down on those 5 products, I went and learned about 5 more. And slowly but surely, after 60, 90, 120 days, whatever, 4 months, I pretty much knew everything about that you needed to know about all of our products. But it was because I had that urge to learn. Like I didn't want to not know anything about our business. I didn't want to just sit there and, post about stuff I really didn't know about. So I took my time, but I made an effort to learn about these products. So I did sign, like my first month, I ended up with 11 customers. And then my second month, I ended with 62. So I just went crazy my second month. And then my third month, everybody turned into distributors and I went diamond. I was like, all right, well, this is fun. So it just kind of like snowballed, but it takes a lot of effort for quick action like that anywhere. I mean, I attribute it to like our real lives. Like if you went to work and you just did the bare minimum or average work, would you ever get a promotion? Would your boss ever hand you a raise? Like, no, probably not. Like you'd have to go above and beyond for a really long time for maybe you to be considered for the next promotion that might be offered in your department. Like there's no guarantee you're ever going to get appreciated for the extra work that you do. Well, in this company, you can do a little extra work and get paid a lot. And you can do a lot of extra work and get paid a really lot. So that was just kind of my focus. And I knew I had no reason, once I got a taste of the money, I had no reason to slow down. And I had every reason to just keep that momentum up. And I had my blinders on. I could care less what people had to say. I had tons of haters. I was like, all right, well, good talk. Like, see you later. See you later. Moving on. So I was really focused on customers at the beginning. And here's the thing. If I could do it all over again, I would stop and maybe change my focus to a little bit more about the business earlier. Because although I did go fast and I did get the customer bonus, you stand to make a lot more money in the business when you're recruiting both. So it worked out for me because I got that $600 a month bonus. But if that doesn't happen for you, like you might feel more gains happening when you sign distributors too. So, I mean, I was signing them. I was Emerald my second month, but you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Okay. So what would you kind of answered one of my questions. So I was going to say that question that you kind of just answered was, if you could tell, okay, you can't do that game. That's ABCs and you can't do those yet. So find something else. If you could tell yourself when you first started one thing that you know now, what would it be? You kind of just said you would start sharing the business side more. Is there anything else you want to add to that? Because that was one of my questions.
I would not have waited 2 weeks to start posting on social media. I did do that. I was embarrassed of my decision, so I just didn't post, and I was secretly telling people and just putting my feelers out. But every time someone was like, "Oh man, Megan, that was really stupid. I can't believe you did that," I'd be like, "Oh, you're right. That was really stupid." And then it wouldn't give me the courage to go tell everybody again. So I wish I would not have cared from the beginning, because I definitely don't care now. and it didn't take me long to not care. Because I actually, before it worked, didn't care what anybody had to think. So I don't know why for that, like, 3 weeks, I decided I was going to care what everybody had to think of me. So I did, though. And I definitely believe it was, like, not that my success could be any different in the long run, but I definitely think, you know, I probably could have went diamond in 2 months, like, and had that story to share, you know, now if I didn't wait 3 weeks. But really, other than that, I would definitely say that there's been a couple times while I've been in this business that I've been distracted, and they've been around my babies. And I wish, that's really not my beginning self, but I wish I would have figured out how to better manage babies and business a little bit better after babies came, but I had some health issues too. So it's kind of like, I don't even know if that's really fair to say to myself, but I did get distracted at a different couple periods in my business, and it took me like 6 months to like come back from that.
Well, and I think that that's a good thing for people to learn from, is that, yeah, you can be as focused as you want to be, but life happens, and medical things, life, family, kids, you know what I mean? So it's like things are going to happen. So like you've got to learn how to work with that while working your business, type of thing. And the thing is, you never stopped working your business. You know,
No.
what I mean? It's not like you took a break or anything like that. It was just that life got busy, crazy, hectic, chaotic, whatever.
Yeah, social media wasn't as personal, and I let my social media slip. I started copy and pasting everything, and then I was like, why am I doing that? Like, I don't actually believe what I just wrote. Like, I never use that many emojis. Like, I'm embarrassing myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just let myself slip so, like, with social media. And that's when I say it took me 6 months or so to come back from it, because it did. Like, there's so much to social media that people should be intentional with. The consistency alone shakes Facebook up. But then the secondary aspect to this is engagement. Are you even posting anything people even care about? Because if you're not, like, Facebook does not put you in people's news feeds. So it takes so my engagement went way down. Like, I can't tell you the last time I put a picture up that I got 5 likes on, but it was happening. I was like, I am clearly boring. Like, I'm actually boring myself. So I had to shake it up, and I had to go back to, like, the Megan everybody was used to. And then my engagement, you know, after a couple months of, like, it's almost like you got to prove to Facebook that you're not being lame anymore or something. Like, Facebook is nuts.
No, and the thing is, I remember when you were like, I got to shake stuff up a little bit. And I think the best thing that you're known for is, like, being funny and your personality. And you let that get away for a little bit. So as soon as you started to bring that back in, it was like, and it was live videos too. You know what I mean? Like, people want to see Megan on live videos. If you guys haven't seen Megan on live videos, you want to. It's like a reality TV show where you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
I totally wish I could be on a reality TV show, because I would do it.
I know you would.
I have to be on, like, Showtime, because I swear a lot, but whatevs.
Whatevs. All right, next question. What is your best advice for those people that are just starting out, so in their first month? And honestly, I think you maybe have touched on this, but I'll kind of leave it open to that. Your best advice for people that are just starting out within their first couple of months.
Okay, my advice is going to be related to the things that I feel like are roadblocks, and the things that are really easy to not do, and the things that it's just harder to overcome. Consistency. It's really hard to get into a routine with this business. Like, I'm never going to, like, pretend that this was easy for me. I'm never going to be like, oh my God, you suck at social media and I'm so good. No. It is hard. It is hard to go from posting on social media once a week a picture of your kids, or a random status update asking your friends for advice on their favorite stroller, to posting about the business 3 to 5 times a day, plus about your life more than you've ever posted, because you want people to pay attention to you. It is hard, guys. It is hard to be consistent in this business. But that's the one thing that you're never I'm never going to find sympathy for anybody who's not making it in this business when I go look at their social media and I have to search 3 weeks for their last post. Like, if you come to me and you're like, oh my God, nobody's buying my stuff. I've talked to everybody. Like, everybody hates it works. I'm going to be like, okay, well, okay. And then if I have to scroll through all your shared things from other people's Facebook and, F-bombs and all this stuff, I'm going to be like, dude, people just aren't buying it from you because actually your friends don't even know you're a distributor. Like, I'm going to be real honest about that because I definitely feel like consistency is one of the things you really have to be intentional with. When I first started the business, when social media became like the way that I was going to start working my business, because like I said, at the beginning, I did a crap ton of parties, but I feel like nowadays everybody pretty much wants to make this work social media only. Okay, fine. If you don't want to have parties and you don't want to go out blitzing, you don't want to do all these other things that we can do to make this business work, then you at least better master social media. You can't want to have a social media business and then not work social media. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I definitely think consistency is hard, but do what you got to do. Like, we all have alarms on our phone. Like, that's what I had to do. I had to set alarms on my phone. I had to use Buffer, but I do find when I use Buffer too much that I get out of the personalization of this business, like the whole feeling, what I'm feeling in the moment and posting about it. So I tend to not use Buffer very much anymore. But if I know I'm super busy, I'll use Buffer for like a quick product post. But anything like touchy-feely, I don't really use Buffer for because I want it to be like in the moment what I'm feeling at that current time. But I also had to start, honestly, when I talk about the time that I kind of, fell off track was after I had Bailey was really bad. I had some health things go on, so like I will give myself some credit for that. But mentally, it was really hard for me to get my focus on track, and I had to go back to setting alarms on my phone because I had gotten out of that routine, and it was so hard to get back into it. But I definitely feel when you get to the part of this business that you find your passion for, you won't need alarms anymore. You won't need to remember to post on Facebook because you're going to be having so much fun and this business is going to be part of who you are that you're naturally going to be drawn to Facebook to share your life, because that's just going to be what you do. Like, my mom has made comments to me about how much I post on social media, and I'm just like, yeah, but that's who I am now. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is it a bad thing that I post so much on social media? Like, it's not that I'm like, I mean, maybe to you I'm obnoxious, but like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I post like half and half. I post a lot of business. I post a lot about my life, and I want to give enough people the reason that if they're not interested in my business, I give them enough about my other parts of my life that they'll still follow me. And they're not like, oh, it's all about it works all the time. Like, and then they just unfollow me. So consistency, I definitely think, is my biggest tip. My new thing lately is being self-motivated. I definitely feel that self-motivation is one of the key ingredients to success. And if you're not self-motivated in anything you do in life, you're never going to do anything to your true potential. I mean, you have to be willing. I mean, y'all started a business. I'm not even really, I'm not talking directly to you guys, but like the new people, like, you just started a business. And sometimes I feel like people don't actually think that seriously about it when they do join, and they maybe need a little time to reflect and let that sink in. But I can promise you, if you treat this like a business, if you treat this like something that if you treat this the same way that you treat your job that pays you, every 2 weeks right now or every week, whatever you get paid, you're going to make like 10 times that paycheck with half the work in a year from now. Do you know what I'm saying? But you have to really be willing to be self-motivated, and you have to willing to be like, all right, this is my responsibility. Like, I don't want to just get 4 customers. Like, I don't care what the current promotion is for 4 customers. I want to get like 10 customers. I want to get like 500 PVV. So you know what? Like, because that's going to make my check this amount of money. And if I help all my team get 500 PVV every month, then my check's going to be a lot more money. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everybody needs to be a little bit self-motivated when it comes to this business, and keep working towards their goals without somebody having to necessarily babysit, because a lot of people don't have that in them. Like, I'm not much of a babysitter. So if I, I try to handhold as best as possible to the people I know that need a little extra attention. But that's a weakness for me because I'm super independent. So I assume everybody's independent, which I know everybody's not. It doesn't make them bad people when they're not. But that takes, I have to meet them in the middle a little bit. And I need people to be a little bit self-motivated. And then when they are, I really latch on to them because that's really exciting to me. So consistency, being self-motivated. You guys don't understand how big of a favor you will do yourself when you stop caring about what other people think. I feel like that's another thing that's really hard to get over. I mean, it took me a while to get over it. Definitely a few weeks at the beginning. I started posting after 2 weeks because I was just like, you know what? Like, the people who are gonna like say something about my post, like, whatever, I don't even care about them. But you know what? Like, there's been tons of times in my business where the haters just are coming on. It's almost like bang, bang, bang. Like, dang, what's going on with this week? Like, everybody's coming at me with their negativity. But honestly, like, they've never slowed me down. When potentials have told me no, I don't get all down in the dumps about it. Like, I don't think, oh my God, my business isn't going to go anywhere because 5 people just told me no. Because guess what? Those 5 people were never going to make or break my business anyway. We are in network marketing. We have to be constantly recruiting. So guess what? When 5 people tell me no, I've got to go find 5 more anyway, because that's the name of the game. So I don't let that stuff slow me down, and I never have. Like, I mean, there have been months in this business where I haven't signed one customer or one distributor, and that's been, no, I can't say that about customers. I've actually always signed 4 customers a month since I started, so I can't say that about customers. But there have been tons of months that I have not signed even one distributor, and of course that's frustrating towards the end of the month. But you know what? Like, I didn't let it roll over to the next month and message my sponsor and be like, I just can't get anywhere with this business. Like, I'm never going to go ambassador. Nobody wants to join me. Like, no, I just what I'm doing is not attracting the people that really want this. So I've got to change it up. It all comes back to me, and it starts with me. Everything, I always focus on what I could be doing or what I'm not doing. This is never about my sponsor. This is never about the company. This is never about my customers. This is about me. And whenever we feel like we're not where we want to be, the first place you need to evaluate, you need to reflect on is you. And not in a bad way. Like, we all need to shake things up. We all need to, be self-aware when we're boring. And when we've allowed too much life to get in the way of our business and we've lost focus. Like, you need to stop yourself in your tracks and be like, all right, my life is more important, than my business per se, but I wouldn't have the life that I want without this business. So I have to make sure that balance is always there. So I'm always stopping myself and being like, all right, get back on track. Like, on month end, I'm always the one up till midnight because I never want, people to have customer service questions that I can help with and I'm sleeping on month end. Like, there's just certain things that maybe you don't really want to do. Like, I'm sure I'm really not much of a go to bed at midnight kind of person. But there's just some things you got to do and some sacrifices you've got to make in the business. And I don't think twice about it. I just do it. And it doesn't make me miserable or any less happy with the business.
Well, that's because you're a great leader. So,
oh.
I shared in the chat that I liked what you said about figure out what's not working for you and change it up. Because I remember after I went diamond, I was like, oh my God, like something is just not working. Like what I'm doing isn't working. And that's when I started doing videos and putting myself out there a little bit more. And I felt that was me changing it up. And I literally had customers like rolling in. So that's so huge. And I feel like still I'm constantly like, right now my big thing is like, I'm just running with vendor events and I'm planning one, like, stuff like that. It's like, you've always got to be changing it up. If what you're doing isn't working, you've got to figure out what will work for you.
And what's so funny about that? There was a time in Danielle's business where she did not do parties and vendor events. She was like, no, like, I don't want to do those things. Like, she was a blitzing fool from the beginning, and she blitzed like no one's ever blitzed before, but she never wanted to do parties. Like, I still remember it was like, what, year and a half ago, 2 years ago, you did your first party, or maybe first serious party, and you were like, I only vaguely remember it at this point, but I'm sitting back being like, what? I freaking love parties. Like, I will literally stand in the doorway of a party and be like, listen, fools, like, no one's here has booked a party, and I ain't leaving until someone books another party. So that was, like, my thing. I was like, I'm not leaving. I'm spending the night if I don't book another party. Like, I have to book a party from a party. And I'd make it a joke, and someone would book a party. Because, I mean, I'm sure the hostess was like, someone book a party. Because hopefully it's sleeping tonight.
I remember that was actually the deal breaker. When I signed up, my one question, do I have to do parties? If that answer would have been yes, I wouldn't have signed up. So because that answer was no, I swear I signed up because that answer was no. And because you know me, I had just moved to the new area, and I was like, I'm not going in some random person's home. Like, I'm not going to be that, like, you know, Tupperware chick that's like bringing a bunch of crap into people's houses. Like, I'm not going to be that person. But I didn't know how I was going to do it. Like, after I signed up, I was like, well, what am I supposed to do then? Go door to door? Like, what the heck? So I think for me personally, it was like, once I got that knowledge, once I felt good about those products, and once you get out there and blitz and people ask you questions and you're like, you're kind of put on the spot, you literally can answer every single question. So once you get to the point in your business where you're like, I can talk to anybody and I can answer any question, that's when you're like, let's do some parties. Let's have some fun. And at that point, you kind of have a couple people on your team that you want to have fun with and you can do parties with. And then you see parties not as much as a job, but it's like, you actually want to have fun. Like, it's going to be fun and you're going to make a crap ton of money and cash out the door. And those are the huge benefits from it. So, and people feel your passion and see your passion. I think that was the big thing that I didn't understand at first.
Yeah. And what going on a point that she just said, if you go too long in this business, truly feeling like this is work and that you're not having fun, it's really not a company or a business or a team or a sponsor problem. It's a you problem. Like, we have to have enough ambition, self-awareness, self-motivation. I keep using these same words to be like, you know what? Like, what I am doing right now is not fun. Like, and chances are, a lot of times when we're not feeling like it's not feeling fun anymore, we go a long period of time without enrolling someone. Like, let's face, like, I get excited still when I enroll a customer. Like, every customer that rolls in, I literally can't wait to see my email come through. And I've probably signed like 400 customers since I started. I know I'm almost at 100 for the year because I went crazy in like November. I was like, I'm totally coming out of a rut right now. Like, I just had Bailey. I had really bad postpartum depression. So, I mean, I battled that throughout this whole thing. A lot of people didn't even know I was really struggling with it towards the end of the winter here in spring, but I was. But I signed like, I'm like 95 customers so far for the year. And because I just don't stop. Like, I love signing customers. It's just always been my thing, I guess. Because a customer is not just a customer to me. Every single customer is a potential distributor. So for me, once I get that customer to sign on, it is like my life's mission to get them to turn into a distributor, because the best distributors are happy, loyal customers. I've always said that, and they come into the door already knowing something. They already know how to sign a customer because they signed up. You know what I'm saying? They already know about perk points because they've used them. They already know just a little bit about the business, and that just excites me. They're not totally going in clueless, but you can totally go in clueless. Danielle went in clueless. I went in clueless, kind of, but I was technically a customer first. But, you know, you can do this business when you come into clueless, but it just excites me when I can convert a customer into a distributor.
Yeah.
It just frustrates me when I've moved them, and I'm like,
I wanted to share something real quick before I ask you the last question. Before, when you were talking about social media and stuff like that, and you were like, you know, you're just sharing your life and stuff like that. I feel like within the last 2-3 weeks, I have to remind myself, like the skincare line, like I use that stuff regularly, but it's sometimes with the greens and the shake, like I got to remind myself to like take them, or, you know, I get super busy.
Your kid just pulled your dog's tail.
Pretty standard. Yep. That's right. Look at me still like, anyway, as you're using the products, I've noticed myself these last couple weeks, I've been having so much fun, like taking pictures of the products that I'm using and putting them and pretending I'm a professional photographer. And it's like, it just goes to show, like, use the products, just use the products and then take pictures along the way. Kind of like when I got like out there and was blitzing a ton, I took pictures of my journey and I just shared it. Like I would take a picture of me blitzing, like blitz card, and I'd share it on Diamond Dreams or share it on my main Facebook page. And I'd be like, oh my God, I just talked to this girl and she's never heard of It Works before. And I keep thinking everyone has, or it's using the products and doing what you do on a regular basis and then sharing that with people. You know what I mean? And it's not so much of I feel like so many people, like you said, they get stuck in the copy and pasting. I've been there. There's been many a times that I'm like, I've used Buffer the last month and literally copied and pasted so much of what I put up on Facebook. What am I doing? Like, that's not what people want to see. So stop it, change it up, yada, yada, yada. But I feel like these last couple weeks, like, I just have so many pictures on my phone that are like so personal and so me. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to post that picture of like me cleaning my makeup brushes and oh my God, like whatever. But, you know, using cleanser. So I feel like using the products and just sharing that, I think is just so, so important with being, if you want to be successful, you know what I mean? I feel like that's such a huge part of it.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it really is where this all starts. Like, we have to be passionate about what we do. Like, if you're not passionate about this business, you're just not going to be as successful as you want to be. If this is truly work to you and you're frustrated that you have to post, like, you're not doing it right then, because this is fun. Now, I post everything, a lot of things, some things that you might not even want to post about yourself, I post about them. That's just who I am, though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm slowly trying to brand myself in some way. It's still like, you know, still up in the air what that will end up being. But I don't want to be just known as the It Works salesperson. I want to be back to that funny friend that people have on their social media who, you know, will post something that's just hysterical and they would never post that, but, you know, 25 people will share my post with their friends. You know, like, I just kind of want to brand myself and get back to that. But, you know, if you're not passionate about what you do and you just, I don't want to use the word annoy. It doesn't really annoy me, but I just wonder what is going on, because when I have so many distributors on my social media now, obviously, and I will just see like the same people post the same, like literally copy and paste, and the first person who posted it has a spelling error, and now everybody's got a spelling error. And I'm like, oh my God, like, you can't even pretend it's yours. It just stresses me out, because I even think as a distributor that I do find it acceptable to copy and paste posts, just not all your posts, and especially the ones that attach feeling to it. If you want to copy and paste a post about what it's like to be a distributor, or, you know, what's your favorite product? No, you can't even copy and paste that. That's not okay. Like, just general product information, fine, have at it. And I'll do the same thing. But if you're going to write like a touchy-feely post, like, oh my God, I love this business because, it cannot be copy and pasted. But you also have to remember that no one's critiquing you. Not one person on your social media is ever going to look at one of your statuses and be like, wow, that's not pretty enough because it doesn't have emojis and, you know, like, it's just not pretty enough. Like, no one actually cares. They care about the message. If they get the message, if they read your post and the first message that they get from it is, oh, that's not their post, or oh, I saw that post earlier today from one of our friends, they will automatically don't take you seriously. They scroll past you and they don't even consider what you're even putting out there. But if you happen to post a selfie with your grocery cart at the store and you say, you know what, like I just got a $99 bonus deposited today. I wasn't going to be able to get groceries today, but guess what? Like now my family has some, now we can have some extra groceries for the week just because of this $99 bonus. It doesn't matter that it's not $10,000. It doesn't matter that it's, groceries and not a Louis Vuitton bag. It matters probably more that it's just $99 and it's groceries to 99% of the people on your Facebook. And I definitely feel like people compare themselves too much. Like, oh, I can't post that I'm a stay-at-home mom like Danielle. Oh, I can't post that I make 10 grand a month like Megan. So I'm just not going to post because it's just not good enough that I'm making $200 a month. Well, guess what? The norm is not to right off the bat to become a stay-at-home mom, and people actually don't even believe that. There's people that still don't believe I actually make the money that I make, but they will definitely believe when you tell them that you're making $200 extra a month or you just got a $99 deposit. They'll believe those kind of numbers. And then when you put it in comparison to something real life, like a gas tank full of gas now, or paying a bill off that was late, or taking your husband out for dinner because you guys haven't been out on a date in a year because you can't afford a babysitter. Stuff like that, that's relatable to 99% of your people that are actually watching your journey. So never be ashamed of where you are, ever. No one actually cares that I make the money that I make. They care when I say that I can pay off a credit card. They care when I say, you know what, like, I don't really actually have to work my day job, so I'm home with my sick kid today. They care about that kind of stuff. They care when you say, I would never be able to take my kids on vacation, and now we're going to Florida as a family. They care about that kind of stuff because that's the kind of stuff that they see just their average friends doing that they can't do. And that's where you're going to insert this business as something that could help them. So never be ashamed of where you are and think it's not enough, because even that $99 or that $500 extra a month or that $200 extra a month, that's a lot more than what people can just go out and change for themselves. Most people, when we have that salary job, we can't just go and make $200 more the next month. Like, you just can't. Like, you're a salaried employee, you make what you make. Like, so when you say, hey, I'm just doing this side gig and I'm working a couple hours a day, like, and it's really not even work because I'm having a crap ton of fun. And, look at my bonus I just made. Like, Danielle posted a screenshot tonight of her $200 bonus. I got a $99 bonus. Like, I get a lot more interaction when I post just stuff like that than when I post the dang income chart and like, hey, look at me making 16 grand average a month. People actually don't believe that. Like, I think they scroll past it and think, okay, Megan, like, you definitely don't make that kind of money. Like, I've had a good friend who I've known has watched me since the beginning. She'll never join, and I'm okay with it because I don't even think I could deal with her. But you know what? Like, somebody comments on I'll never forget this moment. She is one of my friends. Like I said, I posted the average income chart. This was like 6-8 months ago. And someone commented on it that actually made me say the words, yes, I make an average $16,000 a month. Some months are less, some months are way more. Because I never put out there that I make 30 grand a month. You'll never catch me making, those few months were like my checks were extremely high, I would say biggest check ever, but you'll never hear me talk like the amounts because I know nobody believes it anyway. But this person made me say something, like their question prompted me to, and I literally typed out, yes, that's what I make per month. My friend, who has literally been watching me and asking questions, commented and said, wait a second, you make that much money per month? Where have you been? Like, I've only posted the average income chart 45 times. Like, I've probably actually even hinted to you how much I made. She wasn't even paying attention. She saw that chart and she was like, there's no way people make that kind of money per month. And she completely dismissed it. But me typing it out and me being personal with it, she's like, wait, you make that kind of money? I'm like, yes, girl, I do. So, but regardless, like, never be ashamed of your journey. And never assume that everybody on your Facebook is actually seeing everything that you post, because they're not. And that's why you have to be consistent. Because, if you listen or if you read those algorithm things, which I don't, but people tell me about them, maybe 50 to 70 of your friends ever see any one post. And it could be the same people, and they could be distributors. That's why consistency is so important in posting things that people like, and that, they'll show up on your other mutual friends list. Like, there's so much to social media that you just want to be consistent. Like, just being consistent will solve all of your problems, most likely.
All right, one thing I want to add before I ask you the last question. I feel like I said that 10 minutes ago. I blocked Megan when I first started. It was really funny. What did I tell you? Like 2 years in? Did I tell you?
Yeah, I was severely offended that I did not know this.
Shut up. And I think I was triple diamond, if not double at the time. You were like, I'm telling everyone this. But anyway,
I think for a double or just a diamond at that time, not just a diamond, but
yeah, but still, yeah,
diamond or path.
But
because I was shocked AF. I was like, wait, what did you just say? I have to go make a post about this. Hold real quick. You want to tell me you blocked me? Now you're getting tagged. Okay.
Oh man. But anyway, so here's what happened. Basically, I saw these posts and I was like, whatever. So I blocked all the It Works people. Now I will say, the number one thing that would not leave my mind was that Megan got a $10,000 bonus. And I was like, is that real? Is that real? I can't wrap my head around that. So that was my number one thing, okay, before I unblocked and joined. The number two thing, and this is weird, but since she just brought it up, I'm going to share. I don't even know if I ever told you this, but I don't know if it was you or somebody else had posted a picture of the back of their car full of groceries. I don't know if they got a bonus, or I don't know if they said it was their paycheck, but either way, they said It Works paid for all the groceries. Those two things I could not get out of my head for at least a month before I unblocked and then joined. So it's the little things like that are so relatable, because I was living paycheck to paycheck as a teacher. That's pretty standard. It's what you do as a teacher. God, if I could have had $100 extra a month, that would have been awesome. You know what I mean? And then, I couldn't stop thinking about those things. And I'm like, okay, if I got money to pay for my groceries, and then what if I actually did join and I actually did go after this $10,000 bonus? You guys, I don't know if you know anything, but with Megan and I, but she lives 10 minutes from my hometown. So I was kind of people in those towns, it's small town, people don't make that kind of money. People don't do stuff like that, right? But I was like, if she's doing it and she lives in Potsdam, I can do it.
So here's the thing, guys.
What ifs get to people sometimes.
And I definitely think we need to be smart. The moment you actually start to think about what you're posting, how you're posting, why you're posting, you're going to relate to people. Before It Works, I paid bills late. I would juggle which bill to pay because I knew that there was a grace period on it. I would always pay my credit card minimum payments on time because I didn't want the late fee. But I'd pay my cable late. I would pay my AT&T bill for my cell phone late because, you had 60 days before they're really going to actually shut you off. I would juggle bills. The last thing I ever did for myself with my money was buy groceries. I found something else going to the grocery store or going to Walmart and dropping $200. Who actually wants to do that when they have no money? Nobody. So that would be the last thing that I did. And the first thing that I started doing when I started to make money in this business, it was a weekly shopping trip. I bought all the things I could ever want in my pantry or in my refrigerator. That was the most joyous moment for me when I started making more money than I needed. Was I'm going to have so many groceries, a grocery trip every week. That just feels so adult-like. I feel like I could be in a magazine. I'm so adult-like right now. I have just got it together. But groceries was actually my number one thing that I just I would go to Walmart and spend like $700. Like, did I actually need that stuff? No. But you know what? Like, that feeling of being able to go and do something like food, like get food, and not have to be like, no, I can't get that. You know, like, no, we shouldn't get that. Let's just eat subs or something because it's, you know, it'd be $10 a day rather than $100 grocery, you know, one-time grocery bill. I mean, those are relatable things. So when you post things like, hey, I didn't have to actually pay my cable bill late this month, like I always, like, full disclosure, like I always did, because my network business actually pays for all my bills now. Like, that stuff's relatable to people. No one cares about fancy purses and, you know, like a brand new BMW or something. Like, if you want to go buy a brand new BMW, have that. But that's not the stuff that relates to people. So that's why you don't see those material things that I do buy on occasion. You just never see me post about them because that's really not what I want to attract people with. You know, like, I want workers who want to change everything for themselves. Because there's not very many people that I know, even with college educations and a dang good job, that actually get compensated enough to pay for their lives. Like, life is just expensive. And then you add kids. There is no way I would have been able to have the life or have the things that I wanted for my kids if it weren't for this business. Absolutely not. I'd probably have a crib instead of a full, you know, crib and dresser set. I would probably just have a crib. You know, like, I wouldn't have, you know, the nice stroller I wanted. I would probably just have something cheap to get by with. But you know what? Like, I was able to splurge on the stroller. I remember Danielle and I were pregnant with our first babies at the same time. And I was like, I mean, babies are expensive. And you can get away with them, I feel like, not as expensive as maybe how I rolled. But you know what? Like, I was proud of working hard. I was like, I'm going to work hard because I want that nice stroller. And I want to be able to buy new clothes for, you know, my second, even though he's a boy too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to be able to do these little things. And I don't feel like that's wrong. That's exciting to me. I go to grocery shopping whenever I freaking want now and buy whatever I want, always at the grocery store. I never look at prices. I don't, you know, like, I'm not, like, stupid about it. But, you know, like, I eat a lot of healthy food and produce. Like, that crap's expensive. Like, we never ate healthy before the business because why would you go, like, buy enough for a salad and it's $100? It's like, really? So, I mean, it's just little things, and those relate to people. So those are the things that I really think that you guys should all just focus on, the little things, because it's too overwhelming to constantly be thinking what you're doing is not enough, because I can promise you it is.
All right, last question, and then we will be done. What would you say to someone who doesn't have the support from home, or maybe has some haters here and there, which we've all had?
The first thing I would do is I would start being secretive. What I used to do with John, he wasn't not supportive, but he was definitely not like, hey, I'm going to, like, do this with you. Actually, he's still not like that. But, you know, I was on the phone a lot more. I wasn't home a lot more. So that kind of weighed on, we were newly married at the time. So that kind of, it didn't take long for that to kind of take its toll on our marriage. So what I did is I started listening to the Sunday night calls on speaker when he was right there. So I'd keep it on kind of low so he could still watch TV or whatnot, but distracting enough where he might be like, who is that? You know, when it got exciting. I brought him on my team page, which is not really relevant to probably a lot of people because they don't have team pages yet. But, you know, I included him on my team page, and I got on his phone secretively and turned on the notification so he could, like, see stuff on the team page, you know. I did, like, secretive stuff like that. But this is one of the tougher questions for me, because if John was, like, vocal in putting me down and telling me anything negative about this business where it just wasn't necessary, I just would never stand for that as a wife and as a woman. So I know that this question's a little tougher for some people who maybe have different scenarios at home, but for me, if John wasn't supportive, I'd literally look at him and say, do you love me? And he'd say, yeah. And I'd be like, then you know what? Wait for me to lose a crap ton of money. If I'm losing all of our money and We can't pay our mortgage anymore because It Works has taken all of the money. Okay, fine. Maybe you should reel me in. But you know what? Like, my goal is to make enough money to pay for my products. And this is at the beginning, you know. And so if I make enough to cover my investment, what do you care? And he's like, I really don't. And I'm like, okay. It's going to feel like we're not making a lot of money, I'm sure, because I'm always gone. But actually what ended up happening is I went so crazy my first, 6 months that we did see the payout for it. Because I just didn't stop for 6 months straight. And that's not ideal for everybody. I didn't have kids at the time, but like I said, I did have a full-time job. So I gave up personal things for me in order to get this business in. I didn't give up us time. I gave up my time. So instead of going to Zumba 5 nights a week, I just didn't go to Zumba anymore, and I did parties. So he was still not used to seeing me for a couple hours every night because I would always go to Zumba or some sort of exercise class. And you know what? I decided that just to give that stuff up because I still wanted to be home at 7, 8 o'clock at night every night so we could have our time still. Like, I wasn't encroaching into that. So if I would say, just ask him for time. If he's not supportive at home or she's not supportive at home, just ask for time. Just say, listen, I'm not going to do this to lose a bunch of money. I want to do this because, like, imagine if we could do and relate something. There's got to be something that you all have talked about that you wish that you could do. Maybe landscaping around your house or a new driveway, or he wants a tractor, or, he'd like to go on a hunting trip with his buddies or a trip to Vegas or whatever the interests there are. Put that back in his lap. And say, I even threatened John with a gun once because John's things are guns. Like, he loves guns. So I said to him, okay, when I get my $10,000 bonus, I'll buy you a gun. And guess what? I had to buy him a dang gun. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, okay, deal. And again, bribery might not work everywhere, but that worked for us. I was like, why don't you just, like, chill out? Trust me. At the end of the day, trust me. And if I get a $10,000 bonus that I keep tagging you on posts about on my Facebook and you're getting annoyed, I will buy you a gun with it. He's like, all right, deal, sold. Tag me all you want. So,
remember when I bought Tyler the total gym?
Oh, yeah.
That same thing. I was like, get off my back for a little bit. If I can reach this goal, you get a total gym, but chill out for a little bit and stop calling it a dang.
Yeah, I just feel like this is scary for us alone. When we first start, we don't need haters that share a bed with us. So if you're not in a kind of marriage where you can look at them and say, shut up, like, or leave me alone, like, because that's what I would do. Which is why I only could ever be married to one person, and I'm actually married to him. So it's really good for me. But I just would never tolerate that. I don't care if it's this business, if it's anything, if it was a decision I made as a parent. If he doesn't have my back and he's not supportive of me, then we've got way bigger issues than me actually joining this business. So you know what? That's kind of how I roll with that. And I encourage you all to, just put it all out on the table and say, yep, I'm going to be obnoxious. I'm going to be on my phone during dinner. I might even I might even go to the bathroom for as long as you go to the bathroom now, because I'll be bringing my phone in. But I'm going to be working my business, not playing Boom Beach. Like, y'all know what Boom Beach is? Don't tell your husbands. See what I'm saying? Like, I just kind of like, you just got to kind of like be manipulative, I think, as women a little bit sometimes and throw it back in their face. And that's what I did. And John has never not been supportive. He's been like kind of like a wingman. I'm like the boss lady. Like, he just kind of like does what I say when it comes to like this business. I'm like, you're going to conference. He's like, okay. I was like, you're going to wear this shirt today. We're going out to dinner. He'll be like, okay. Like, he's just kind of like a yes man when it comes to this business. He doesn't want to post. He uses a ton of the products too. Like, he's like addicted to our energy, like legit. And he goes to like a bottle of Confianza every 2 weeks, legit. But he'll never think to get on and post about it. But if he would give me his phone to go make a post, though, I ain't about all that. So you just kind of got him. You just kind of meet them in the middle.
So that was it. I told you guys he likes to ramble sometimes.
Danielle,
Listen.
even have me on your calls. I get so intimidated being on your calls because you give me the judgy timer eyes. You're like,
but here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest. Ready? I love when I'm like, oh, we'll just go for 20 to 30 minutes because I'm like, yeah, she gonna go 60 minutes. We gonna get Megan for a whole 60 minutes. But I try to be like we'll just take like 20 minutes of your time. Don't even worry about it. But then once we get going,
no.
Megan, there's been Zooms before where she's like, oh my God, sorry, I just rambled. And I'm like, oh my God, I love it when she rambles.
But sometimes you have your judgy timer eyes where you're like, oh, I totally got to go do something else, Megan. Like I said, 20 minutes. Like, so I get intimidated a little bit when I'm on your calls. So I'm like, I am totally going to talk because that's just what I do.
Well, now you know how I really feel. I say 20 minutes to be like so thoughtful of your time. And oh my God, thank you so much. We're just going to take 20 minutes of your time. But then I'm like, keep it coming. Keep it coming.
For the record, you never have to, like, be thankful for my time. Like, that is what I'm here for. It makes me feel weird when you say that, actually.
Seriously, that was awesome. I'm really thankful for you taking time to do this, in all seriousness. But do you guys not see why I absolutely love Megan so much? Like, is she not amazing? She just says it how it is too. She's just like straight shooter, like doesn't give a crap, and this is how it's gonna be. And
which is probably good that they don't get a dose of me every day, because then I'd be like two other leaders every day, being blunt and to the point.
What do you mean? I'm not that bad.
What do you mean? I'm bad? I ain't bad.
All right, I'm a little blunt, but sometimes the blunt is good. Sometimes.
See, I ain't got time to play, so I'm just.
Yep.
I just don't. I've never been that kind of person, though. I've never been a sugarcoater ever. Yeah. Like, I'll probably never actually be able to convince my kids they're Santa either, because I just am so like, okay, guys, no, there's not Santa. Like, you know, like, I'm just not a sugarcoater. I need to work on some of this stuff as a parent. I know, I understand. But I've always learned the most in my life from people being honest with me. And when I sense that people are just blowing smoke up my butt to, like, ease the pain of what they really want to say, I'm like, no, that is not actually what you want to tell me. Like, give it to me straight. You know, so I just feel like I've always been open to criticism because I don't take it personally or offensive, or, I mean, if I don't agree with you, I'll tell you that. But I've just always liked open environments. So if you ever come to me for advice, you're always going to get the truth.
Yep.
My kids.
You definitely do. All right. Well, let me stop the recording.